This week's Dollars and Cents segment, sponsored by the Resource Center. Good to see you again.
Good to be here.
I know we're going to talk about something that right now is affecting everybody, but people in that retirement mode, this is a time that they're kind of going, where do I go?
Yeah, the people, folks that are going to feel this the most are people on a fixed income.
Right.
Those of us that are employed and we're working, we can kind of control, our cash flow. We can work some extra hours. We could pick up a second job. We could do lots of things to offset milk and bread and fuel, right?
Yeah. So what we're really addressing here is inflation.
Yeah, absolutely. You look at inflation numbers, 2019 CPI, Consumer Price Index, that's food, energy, expenses. It covers everything, right? Inflation rate was around 2.1, 20 it was up to 3.9, 21 it was 7. Now we're 2.5 months into the next year and we're at 7.9 and rising. I fully expect, and so kind of everything, my research and what I've read, 9 to 11% by the end of the year would not be astronomically out of line.
Now, is something like this, is it cyclical? Is it to be expected from time to time?
I think under current conditions, I think we have to expect that. I mean, we could get into the politics of it or the world events and things like that. But when you consider what influences the consumer price index, we are a worldwide economy. I think we all realize that now, that we all have to get along and we all got to work together for this harmony to work.
It's not a closed system anymore.
Yeah, let's look at gas. I mean, gas a year ago was $2.59. A month ago it was $3.54, and now we're at $4.32. It's went up 80 cents a gallon in the last 30 days. So I think that's to be expected because of the current circumstances that we're dealing with.
Of course.
And so when you consider that and the effect of that on your dollar, a dollar, the stress on a dollar right now is huge. And so when we're sitting here losing on $100 worth of groceries, $7.09 more this year to buy the same groceries than it was 12 months ago, then you consider that, and it affects people in different ways, especially people on a fixed income.
That's what I'm going to ask you about then. How can people, hedge their bets when on a fixed income?
So you're on a fixed income. My advice, if you have a mortgage, I think you should consider taking a look at your mortgage, seeing if there's any possibilities of a refinance or trying to save. And I think we've got a slide on that. For example, I know a local bank here has available a 7-1 ARM 30-year amortization at 2.875, 0 points. The APR would be 3.2. Now, what that means is that rate could be locked in for 7 years. And then hopefully inflation's under control, things are better, and then we can look at a more permanent mortgage at that point.
Right.
Because if you're on a fixed income and you're still maintaining a mortgage, and let's say you've got a 4 or 5% interest rate, I would encourage you, give me a call, I'll help you navigate that. We'll try to see what we can find.
These are out there. Yeah.
And then shop your fixed expenses. And we've talked about this a lot, what our capabilities are at the Resource Center. We can check your auto and home insurance. That's a big item. That's a big ticket item when you're on a fixed expense. You got to have car insurance and you need home insurance. And so making sure we check that to see if it's where it should be. I think that's important as well.
Now, you have a couple of things here that can help people, kind of meet this sort of thing.
Well, it's a sample of some of the information that we can give you at the Resource Center to try to help. How does inflation affect your retirement? Well, it makes your retirement dollars less valuable than they were a year ago. Now, in my book, I talk about roadblocks when you're in retirement.
Right.
It might be taxes, it might be fluctuations in the market, but inflation is a big deal. Inflation is something that we really don't control. It's what happens. And so now, how is that going to affect you long term?
This can help you from putting up your own roadblocks.
Exactly. And maybe giving you a game plan on how are we going to try to battle this inflation.
People want more information. How do they get it?
Yeah, Resource Center, 882-1800, or resourcecenterinc.com. Check us out there. Come to our workshops, gather information. We're there to help.
All right. Good to see you again.
You bet.
Good information. Up next, things are going